There are three things that everyone loves: breasts, Raymond, and tier lists. Seeing as well as 2018 is just around the corner, I figured it would be a great time to make a tier list of my own. Now normally when people make these, they talk about team strength, projections for the tournament, blah blah blah, but I'll be honest, that's too much like quality content for the old Foxdrop channel, so how about we rate teams based off of their logos instead? Sounds good? Alright, let's do it. Here's the official Worlds 2018 logo tier list. Tier 4 is the worst, with tier S being the best. Let's talk about this list and discuss the team placement starting at the bottom. In tier 4, aka the Buffalo Sabres slug tier, we have MAD, EDG, and Infinity Esports. MAD's logo would be better suited to a band that's opening for My Chemical Romance than Esports team. For EDG, I admittedly sort of like their logo, but they deducted a lot of points for their logo literally just being a circle with the letters EDG written inside. And lastly, Infinity Esports, just a bit crap really. In tier 3 we have Afrika, IG, 100 Thieves, Flash Walls, Detonation, Focus Me, Vitality, and Fong Vu Buffalo. Not looking good for the Chinese here, with two of their three representatives already sitting in the bottom two tiers. North America also has its first showing here in 100 Thieves. Getting socks for Christmas is one of those things you appreciate more the older you get. The 100 Thieves logo feels like the opposite of that. EU's also sliding in here with Vitality. Looks more like a belt buckle from WoW than a team logo. Does have a nice color scheme though. The other highlights from this group are Fong Vu Buffalo and Flash Wolves. Flash Wolves looks a bit too insecty and not enough wolfy. And more importantly, the W in the text of the logo looks more like an upside down M than a W, which might sound like a weird thing to point out, but since I can't unsee it, the logo is pretty ruined for me. Fong Vu Buffalo are almost enough to sneak into tier 3, if not for two troubling mishaps. Firstly, it's a bit of a rip-off of the Chicago Bulls, but to be fair, that's not really a deal breaker since TSM is basically Warner Brothers and no one seems to care about that. The big issue here though is that the Bull's horns and eyes are positioned as such that he's looking to the right, or his left, whatever, but his nose is facing head on. And like with the Flash Wolves, I can't unsee it, so maybe that's just me though. In tier 2 we have Fnatic, G2, Liquid, Gambit, that Rhino team, RNG, and Gen G. China and EU are officially out of the tournament here, peaking in tier 2, which is nothing to be ashamed of really. Fnatic's logo actually spells out the word fanatic if you sort of squint and believe hard enough, which is pretty cool, and the simplicity of design makes it iconic in its own right. The other European team here, G2, also has their team name spelled out in their logo, though admittedly this is a slightly less impressive feat when your team name is 2 letters long. The whole samurai design is cool though, it's quite intimidating, it's one of the only logos to really pull off that grey look as well. Team Liquid's logo does majestic without doing soft, something that is a fine balance. They also use negative space really well, which is unique for logos and gives them some bonus points. Even more bonus points for having a horse in your logo and not looking like a bellend. Gambit's logo is deliciously simple and thoroughly Russian. Chaos Latin Gamers, aka that Rhino team, just looks really cool, and honestly, I respect the fact that the Rhino seems to have zero connection to their team name, but they just thought, screw it, let's chuck a Rhino in there. RNG is like my ex in that it's simple, thick, and intimidating, and Gen G has a cool color scheme and symmetrical thing going on here, sort of like the Vegas Golden Knights. I think I'd prefer it without that top text, but that seems to be a recurring theme with the Korean logos. Tier 1 houses KT Roaster, C9, Kaboom, and Ascension Gaming. It's a true honor to be placed in this tier, and there are some corkers for logos within. KT Roaster's logo is just so fun. They found a way to stick a bloody roller coaster into their logo, for heaven's sake. It's creative, it's funky, and this like golden outline that Riot puts on for the World's webpage, honestly I think it just takes it to the next level. Cloud9's logo is the definition of aesthetic. It's just pleasing to look at, you know, it's smooth, it's got good symmetry, doesn't try to do too much, it's a nice color, and all the while giving you a good kind of nimbusy cloud sort of feel, not to mention the 9s that are chucked in there. It's a pretty logo with good team representation, but you don't have to play it simple to have a good logo. Kaboom is a beautiful showing of that. I mean, just look at it. The text placement is aggressive and explosive, perfect for the Kaboom name, while still looking really cool. And then you chuck a bloody ninja in the background because why not, obviously, and it just works really well. I'm not a huge fan of text in logos in general, but this one feels like the text is really part of the logo, you know? And lastly, in tier 1, Ascension Gaming. Just wow. Almost gives me a Greek kind of feel, even though the team is from Southeast Asia. It looks great on a darker background, but it's another simple logo that's just really pretty. Unlike Cloud9, this one's a lot more jagged and less simple, but again, it's a nice color scheme, a good representation of the team. It just gives us a really cool vibe. Like, it's not chill, it's definitely not aggressive, but it's just cool. And lastly, the only S tier logo at Worlds 2018, head and shoulders above the rest, G-Rex. I mean, what an amazing team name for starters, but just look at it, it's so damn cool. That pinky purple color scheme gives it that vaporwave kind of feel while still being a damn dinosaur. The text again isn't out of place, just a quality logo. Now you may have noticed that there are 2 teams that I haven't mentioned here. That's the Dire Wolves and Supermassive. Now that's because I just can't place them. I can't decide whether I like them or not. On the one hand, they've got nice colors, cool animal themes, yet I don't know, I just can't decide if I like them. You guys are gonna have to help me out on this one. Put in the comments what tier you think the logo should be. Give a like to the other comments you see that agree with you, and we'll let you decide. So that just about does it, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you all. Enjoy Worlds, and I'll see you in my next.